It's all filthy. My boat's clean and this is filthy. So if you ever train and you want a pump, this right here.
What is it?
You take this Adrenal Rush right here, and then you take 5 of these Vaso Gorges with it. It's a pump enhancer. Man, skin tearing.
What you're on right now?
So I'll take the Adrenal Rush right now. This is the way I do it, is I'll take the Adrenal Rush right now. This gives you good pump, but a lot of energy too, because I'm gonna start deadlifting, and I'm not really trying to get a pump when I'm deadlifting, because last thing I want is my back to get pumped, you know? So with my family life, this is when that family life comes into play, because my wife knows like my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish, and she understands. She's bodybuilded before, and now she's a nurse, so she understands medically what the body and everything does, I don't want to say I get bored of like one thing. I'm gonna start doing a lot of hypertrophy training, like I said, get in some good condition. And I have a saying that I've always said for a very long time, that I would rather be crushed under hundreds of pounds than to die, one day die and not know what I was capable of. I want to do, as long as my body holds up, I want to do 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps on deads.
Okay.
And then I'll do 4 sets of 10 to 12 on vert pulls. Part of my warm-up routines for deadlifts, pretty much all of my lifts, is I do a lot of band work prior to me lifting. I do band work, and then I use rollers to kind of roll myself out a little bit. Today, when you guys watch me deadlift, I'll sit here and be the first to say, like, you don't mimic my deadlift. This is a deadlift form that I have worked on and that I have basically made to work for me. I've had some of the best in the world. Like I said, Ed Cohen, Stan Efferdine, all these guys sit there and watch me, and it's like they say, that's what works for me. I've built my back and my body to be able to lift that way. And I've had 0 injuries when it comes to deadlifting. Will I be able to eventually hit numbers, as high as some of the best out there? I don't know. I'm hitting numbers that I never thought I would be able to hit now. So will my back, be able to handle it? And will my legs be able to handle it? I don't know. But I wouldn't sit there and say mimic my deadlift, because the form it's not by the book. And even by the book form is hard. Ed Cohen, Stan Efferdine, some like my idols. And I think that's why I kind of look up to those guys, because they don't have the most perfect form. I mean, Ed Cohen has pretty good squat form, or deadlift form, but when he squats, he's bent over quite a bit. And so is Stan Efferdine. And like I said, they're some of the top powerlifters to ever live. And so it worked for them, and it's been working for me. Find a form that works for you, and as long as you're not rounding your back and stuff like that, you're gonna be fine. It's if you start rounding your back, that's when you're gonna get yourself into trouble, and you're gonna start having some serious injuries when it comes to deadlifting. I am over the top of the bar a lot, but like I said, that's just the way that I have to do it. And like I said, it's just worked for me. I do a little bit of a roll deadlift. Not a lot of people do the roll, but it's something that I do. I used to not do it, but then I started doing it, and I just tend to like it. It's all on feel and what works for you. I'm not one of those guys that can sit there and torque on the bar and drop my hips. So rolling the bar for me is my way of getting able to get my hips a little bit lower. When it comes to rolling the bar though, you have to be careful, because timing comes into play. And there are times where my timing is off, and it can cause me to miss a lift. So that's another key thing. When I went to Chicago and worked with Ed, that was the thing that we worked on a lot with 225 pounds, was a lot of timing when I was doing that. And is Ed a huge fan of the roll? I don't know. He's never told me not to do it, but he knows that's what works for me. But like I said, if the timing is just off, it can mess up your whole lift. So timing is key, especially when you start getting into the heavier weight. So a good little way to get past or to help work on your timing is record yourself. Record yourself, especially on your warm-up sets, going all the way up to your working sets. and get that, see if your timing's there and get that timing down. And then even when you get up to your heavier sets, you know, record yourself and say, oh man, I pulled a little bit too soon. It was a little bit too far away from my body on the roll. That's usually my number one thing, is what gets me, is I will pull a little bit too far away. I do that on accident, or because sometimes I'm looking down and sometimes the deadlift bar will catch the bottom of my prosthetic and I'll get stuck sometimes. So in my head, I'm like, oh shit, I don't want to get stuck on my prosthetic. And so I pull a little bit too soon. So my timing sometimes gets off. So I'll work up to 405. Once you see me rack 4 plates up, that'll be my first working set. And I'll do that for 10 to 12, so just so you guys know. So right now, so basically I have 135 pounds. That's basically gonna be like, obviously, it's a warm up. That's just to me to get blood flowing, kind of get my conditioning going, just getting everything kind of going, warming up the body real well. And then usually I'll jump straight to 225, which is 2 plates, straight to there, straight to 315, and then 315 straight to 405, which will be my first working set. Because I'm doing such high volume at a lower weight, I don't need to do crazy amount of reps here at this warm up. Like at the 225, I'll do 10. 135, I'll do 10. 225, I'll do 10. 315, I'll try to do like 5. Then once I'm done with 315, jump straight to 405, and that's going to be my 10 to 12 reps that I'll end up doing. And then depending on how that goes, I'll probably jump up to 450, and then I'll jump up to 465, 470, and then like 495 probably, and that'll be it. And then, like I said, try to hit 495 for about 7 to 10 as my last working. And then I'll do a drop set all the way back down to 405, where that's when I'll try to, you know, do an AMRAP, which is basically doing as many reps as possible. And I do that at the end because, you know, I don't want to tax myself out prior to hitting my main working sets.